Why, hello, Jim. Have I been asleep? Why didn't you wake me?
Huck Finn. Boy, that's you? You back alive? You didn't drown? Let me touch it. It is. It's you, back alive, safe and sound.
What are you talking about, Jim? Have you been drinking?
Have I been drinking? Have I had time to be drinking?
Well, then what makes you talk so wild?
Wow. Have I been talking wild?
Ain't you been talking about my coming back? As if I've been gone away?
Huck Finn, look me in my eye, boy. Ain't you been gone away?
What in Dad Blame Nation do you mean? I ain't been gone nowheres. Where'd I go?
Well, wasn't it you that took the canoe and tied us to that towhead?
What towhead? I ain't seen no towhead.
And didn't that line break loose and the raft just go humming right on down the river, leaving you and the canoe behind in the fog?
What fog?
The fog, boy. The fog that's been around here all night.
Well, this is too many for me, Jim. I ain't seen no towhead, nor no fog, nor no nothing. I've been sitting here talking with you all night. You was singing and talking about freedom. And then you went to sleep about 10 minutes ago. And I reckon I done the same. You couldn't have gotten drunk in that time. So, of course, you been dreaming.
Boy, how could I dream all that in 10 minutes?
Well, hang it all, 'cause you did dream it, 'cause did none of it happen.
But, Huck, it's just as plain
It don't make no difference how plain it is.
Well, I reckon I did dream it then. But if I did, it's the powerfulest dream I ever had.
Tell me about it, Jim.
Well, now it must be a warning. But now I gotta interpret it first. That first towhead, that's the good angel. And the current, now that's the bad angel that's gonna bring all kinds of bad luck. And them branches and snags that knock me about, well, that means we're gonna run into all kinds of mean folks. But we got to hold our own. And don't talk back. Because if we do, we're gonna pull out of the fog. And that's gonna be the free states. And we won't have no more trouble.
Boy, that's sure a powerful dream, Jim. Oh, and I reckon you interpret it down to the bone. But tell me this. What does these stand for?
What do those stand for? I'm gonna tell you what it stands for. When I got all tired and wore out last night from work and calling for you, well, I went to sleep. 'Cause my heart was broke that you were lost, and I didn't care no more about this raft. And all you was thinking about was how you could make a fool out of old Jim with a lie. You see, boy, that truck we found back there is trash. And trash is what people is who put dirt on the heads of their friends and try to make them ashamed.
I'm sorry, Jim. I didn't mean no harm.
Hello out there. Hello on the raft. Hey, are you alone, boy?
No, sir.
Is there men with you?
Only one.
Well, there's 5 niggers run off up yonder last night up there around the bend. That man that's with you, is he white or is he black?
He's white.
I reckon we'll come see for ourselves.
Oh, I wish you would. You see, it's my pap that's in there, and maybe you could help us tow the raft ashore. He's sick, you see.
We're in a hurry, boy. But I suppose we got time to take a look.
Pap'd be much obliged, too. Everybody else we asked, they won't help us tow in the raft, and I'm too little to do it myself.
Well, that's infernal mean. Odd, too.
What's the matter with your father?
Well, it's nothing much.
Now, that's a lie, boy. Come on and square up. What's the matter with you?
Don't leave, please. If you'll only come close enough where I can heave you the headline, Then you can pull us in. You won't even have to get near the raft. Please.
Set her back, John. Set her back. Set her back. Dadgummit, I think the wind's done blowed it to us. Boy, your pap's got the smallpox, and you know it precious well. What's the matter with you? Why didn't you say something? You want to spread it around all over the place?
Well, I told everybody else before, and they just left us.
Yeah, the poor devil. Something in what you're saying. Listen, boy, I'd like to help you, but I don't want no smallpox. You can understand that, can't you? Now, I want to tell you what to do. Don't you try to land here by yourself. Go on down river about 20 miles. And when you get there, there's a town on the left-hand bank.
That Cairo, mister?
No, that ain't Cairo, but it'll do just as good. And when you get folks to help you, tell them your pap's got the chills or the fever or something like that, and don't be a fool and let them guess what the truth is. Now, listen. I'm going to put a $20 gold piece on this here piece of drift.
Hold it, Scotty. Here's a 20 for me.
You catch it when it comes by the raft.
How far is it to Cairo?
You done missed Cairo. About 30 miles upriver. Bye, boy. We'll be seeing you. Good luck to you.
If you see some runaway niggers, get some help and nab them. You can make some money by it.
Goodbye, sir. Don't worry. I won't let no runaways get past me if and I can help it. $40. We's rich now.
Past Cairo.
Must have passed her last night in the fog. Oh, Lord, Jim, I'm sorry.
Poor niggas can't have no luck. Figured that snakeskin wasn't through with its working.
I wish I'd never seen that snakeskin. I do wish I'd never laid eyes on it.
Come on, let's get hit.
We could take the canoe and paddle back towards Cairo.
Ain't no place to hide in a canoe.
Well, we could walk back.
That's even worse yet, Huck.
Then what, Jim?
Well, I expect we'll just keep as we is. Can you believe it, Huck? A runaway nigger running straight down river. Straight into the cotton fields. Ain't that a caution?
Maybe if we can make New Orleans, maybe you can catch a sailing ship direct to New York.
You hear that?
Oh, no. Here we go again.
What?
We're gonna get another shaving from that steamboat. Hold on, Jim.
It's gonna hit us, Huck! Down!
Jim! Nothing, sir. I fell overboard off a steamboat.
Oh, you did you? Strike a light there, somebody. What'd you say your name was?
George Jackson, sir. I'm only a boy.
Now, look here, George. If you're telling the truth, you needn't be afraid. Nobody'll hurt you. But don't try to budge. Rouse out Bob and Tom so we can fix those guns. George Jackson, is there anybody with you?
No, sir. Nobody.
You know the Shepherdsons?
No, sir.
Snatch that light away, Betsy, you old fool. Put it on the floor behind the door. Bob, you and Tom are ready. Take your places.
All ready.
Step forward, George Jackson, and mind you don't hurry. Come mighty slow. If there's anybody with you, let him keep back. If he shows himself, he'll be shot. Come along now. Push the door open. Just squeeze in.
Why, he ain't a Shepherdson. Ain't no trace of Shepherdson about him.
Never mind our being suspicious, George. We must make certain.
Why, bless you, Saul. The poor thing's as wet as he can be. And don't you reckon it maybe he's hungry?
True for you, Rachel. I forgot.
Oh, the poor little thing. Come here. Betsy, you fly around and get him something to eat.
Ain't there no Shepherdsons around?
It was a false alarm.
If they'd have been some, I reckon I'd have got one.
Well, I thought they'd have scalped us alive. You've been so slow in coming.
Well, nobody come after me. It ain't right. I don't ever get no show.
Never you mind, Buck, my boy. You'll get showing off all in good time. You take this little stranger up and get those wet clothes off him.
Come on. What's your name?
George Jackson.
I caught a blue jay and a rabbit in the woods day before yesterday. Great-grandmother died before hardly any of us was born. She had warts. She had an uncle that was bald-headed and had fits. We used to have a calf that ate apples and just chawed up dish rags like nothing. Did you ever see a house afire? I have. Where do you suppose Moses was when the candle went out?
What?
Where was Moses when the candle went out?
How should I know?
Well, guess.
Which candle?
Any candle.
I don't know. Where was he?
Why, it was in the dark. That's where he was.
Well, if you knew, what'd you ask me for?
Dad, blame it. It's a riddle. Don't you see? How long are you going to stay here? You got to stay always. We can have booming times. I got a dog that goes in the river and brings out chips that you throw in.
Pap and me, and all the family, was living on a little farm in Arkansas. And my sister, Mary Ann, she run off and got married. Was never heard of no more. And Bill went to hunt him. He was never heard of no more. And Tom and Mort died off, and there weren't nobody left but me and Pap. Well, Pap was trimmed down to nothing on account of his troubles, so when he died off, I took what little we had, because we didn't own the farm, and headed upriver, deck passage. Fell overboard, and that's how I come to be here.
Well, my boy, you have a home here with us for as long as you care to stay. Now, Mother, I suggest we retire for the evening.
He had a Moni's daughter, good Mo, that's the Lord's command. Mo. What? Who is you? You a demon? You gone now. It.
I ain't no demon. I'm a nigga just like you.
What you doing in that tree? You don't belong to nobody I know of around here. You's a runaway. You's a dad-nab runaway. Where you from?
Just never you mind.
But where you going?
Never you mind.
Well, you ain't going too far, that's for sure. You stay here, you're gonna get catched in no time at all. Come on. Come on. Follow Jack. All right. Stay where you is.
On duty to you, sir. Madam.
Thank you, boys. Now, you all know what day this is. If your sister Emmeline had not been taken from us, we would be celebrating her 18th birthday. Such a rare spirit. Have you seen any of her crayons, George? This with the weeping willow and the tombstone, she called Shall I Never See Thee More, Alas. And this she was working on when she died.
What do you think, George?
It's real nice, ma'am. But why does the lady have 6 arms?
Emmeline wanted to see which pair would look best, George. But God didn't give her time to decide.
And she could write poems real easy. About anything. Just so's it was sadful.
These were her tributes to the deceased.
Read one, Father.
Now, this was for little Stevie Botts, who lived just down the road from us. No whooping cough did rack his frame, nor measles drear with spots. Not these impaired the sacred name of Stephen Dowling Botts. Despised love struck not with woe that head of curly knots, nor stomach troubles laid him low, young Stephen Dowling Botts. Oh no, then list with tearful eye, whilst I his fate do tell. His soul did from this cold world fly by falling down a well. They got him out and emptied him. Alas, it was too late. His spirit was gone for to sport aloft in the realms of the good and great.
George, this here's Jack. He's to be yours for the while you're here.
Master George, you come on down by the swamp and I'll show you a whole stack of water moccasins.
I ain't too much in love with snakes to go out of my way looking for 'em.
Well, believe me, Master George, you want to see these ones.
I can't now anyways. I'm going hunting. Say, Buck, you ever seen a drowned man?
Sure.
A drowned nigger?
No, my Uncle Henry.
Oh.
You told him I was here, and you still didn't come?
Well, not exactly. I ain't tell him exactly. But I'll fetch him here. Don't you worry about it. If you get back on that river, what you gonna do?
Hide me out on the boat to New York, out of New Orleans.
You for sure is crazy. Yeah. If you do make it as far as Orleans, I know some people, some free niggas. They'll most likely help. You for sure is crazy.
Shepherdson. Made his soul feel every torture. Damn him. He's run away. I almost brought him down.
What did he ever do to you?
Him? He never done nothing to me.
Well, what'd you try to kill him for then?
Why, nothing. Oh, it's on account of the feud.
What's a feud?
Don't you know nothing? Where was you raised? Feud is this way. A man has a quarrel with another man and kills him. Then the other man's brother kills him. Then the other brothers on both sides goes for one another. Then the cousins chip in. By and by, everybody's killed off, and there ain't no more feud. But it's kind of slow. It takes a long time.
Has this one been going on long?
I should say so. Started some 30 years ago. Somewhere's along there. There's trouble about something, and then a lawsuit to settle it, and the suit went against one of the men. So we up and shot the man that won the suit, which he'd naturally do, of course. Anybody would.
What was the trouble about? Land?
I reckon. I don't know.
Well, who done the first shooting? Was it a Grangerford or a Shepherdson?
Lord, how should I know? It was all so long ago.
Has there been many killed?
Sure. Right smart chance of funerals around here.
I do not like this shooting from behind a bush.
The Shepherdsons would do the same. They always take advantage.
You are not a Shepherdson. Next time you step out into the road, face on, or don't carry a gun. Am I understood?
Yes, sir.
Good then.
You're quite sure the Shepherdson boy wasn't hit at all?
No, ma'am. Buck only touched his hat. But he tried. He really did try.
If anyone would sue you and take your coat, let them have your cloak as well. If anyone forces you to go with them 1 mile, go with them 2 miles. Give to him who would beg from you, and do not refuse him who would borrow from you. So saith the Lord. The narrow road to salvation leads through such works, requires such charities. Those who have been blessed, touched by the grace of the Lord's favor, they know the power of faith, they know the holy pleasures of charity, and the labors of their wills towards the food of all men will not go unrewarded on that final day of reckoning.
Today's sermon spoke quite well of the divine blessings, I thought. May we always be deserving of God's favor.
Hello, George.
Hey, Miss Sophia. If you're looking for Buck, he's out on the lawn, sound asleep. I reckon that sermon took a lot out of him. That was the orneriest Sunday meeting I ever hit.
You like me, don't you, George?
Yes'm. I like you real fine.
Would you do me a service and not tell a soul?
I bet I will.
Good, then. I forgot my testament at the church in our pew between 2 hymn books. Would you be so kind as to retrieve it for me?
Why, sure, that ain't nothing. Sure is pretty when them bells go off, ain't it?
You are the best boy in the world. Now, don't tell anyone about this. Swear?
Swear?
Go on and play now.
Master George, you come on down by the swamp, I'll show you a whole stack of water moccasins.
I told you, I don't want to...
Now, you just shove right in there a few steps, Master George. There's where they is. Now, I've seen them before. I don't really care to see them no more.
Hello, Huck.
Don't hurt me now, Jim. I didn't mean for you to drown. I miss you, Jim, and I think about you all the time. Now, please don't go haunt me now, Jim. Please, Jim.
I ain't no ghost sport and I didn't drown.
You ain't a ghost?
No, I ain't no ghost. Come on, touch me. See for yourself.
Why didn't you have my Jack tell me you was alive yet? He told me some foolishness about snakes.
Well, that's just so if there's trouble, he can always say he didn't tell nobody about me. Yeah, he's a smart one, he is.
Let's get out of here.
Maybe tomorrow night. I gotta do some more fixing on the raft first.
The raft? You mean it weren't all broke to flinders?
Nope. Tore up a little bit, but still in one piece. We hadn't been such pudding heads that night in the water, we'd still seen her afloat.
Didn't you like them snakes?
Best I ever did see. Everybody.
Well, don't you know, Master George?
Know what, Dad? Blame it.
Well, Miss Sophia, she run off. Indeed, she has run off in the night sometime. Run off to get married to young Honey Jefferson. Now, the family, they found it out about an hour ago. And I tell you, weren't no time lost. Such a hurrying up of guns and horses you ain't never see. Now, the women folk, they went to stir up the relations, and Master Saul and the boys, they took the guns, rode up the river road for to try and catch that young man and kill him before he crossed the river with Miss Sophia.
Well, why didn't Buck wake me?
Hey, he ain't gonna mix you up in all this mess. Just happy as can be. Loaded up his rifle and rode off. Figuring on fetching back a Jefferson a buck.
They're gone, Buck. George, what you doing up there? Looking for you.
They ain't gone for long. You look sharp and sing out when they come back. I got one, George.
Who's that?
This here's my cousin Joe. But they ain't done yet, that's sure. My father and Tom and Bob, they all been killed. The Shepherdsons sure did ambuscade us good. We ought to waited for the relations to get here, but Pap was in such a rage.
Well, what happened to Harney? And Miss Sophia?
Damn both their souls if they didn't get across the river.
no noise. Over here, over here. Shh. Come on, this way. Right down, show you was dead, boy.
Don't waste no time, Jim. Just shove up for the big water as fast as you can. Jim, you believe in what the Bible says about praying?
What does the Bible say?
You know, ask and you get.
Bible says that?
Yep.
It's true.
You believe in magic lamps?
Magic what?
Lamps. Tom Sawyer had one. There's a genius which comes out and gives you wishes.
That's just more Tom's bookie foolishness.
Ain't the Bible a book?
That's different.
How different?
Just is.
I figured this lamp business for just a fairy story. But this praying, I was wondering. I mean, if you could ask for something, then get it sure enough. Don't you reckon Miss Watson? She'd have put some meat on her bones? And the widow, she'd have found her another man? I mean, it stands to reason, don't it? If wishing and praying made any difference, we wouldn't have passed Cairo in the fog. And Buck wouldn't have been shot dead like he was.
Thank you ever so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, don't take on so, sir.
That's as close as I've come to riding the rail in a long while.
What'd you do to get them people so riled up?
Well, I was selling an article to take the tartar off the teeth. It does take it off, too. generally the enamel with it, but oh, I stayed about one night longer than I ought to. I was just in the act of sliding out of town when I came across you running out yourself. I mean, what's your story?
Well, I was running a temperance revival, and I was a pet of the women folk particular until word got round that I was putting in time on the side with a jug. With the judge's wife, too.
Old man, reckon we might double-team it together?
I ain't undisposed. What's your line, mainly?
Well, journeyman printer by trade. Oh, I do a little in patent medicine, you know, theatre actor, tragedy, you know. Take a turn at mesmerism and phrenology when there's a chance. Teach singing, geography class for a change. Sling a lecture on occasion. Oh, I do lots of things. Most anything that comes handy, so long it ain't work. Yeah, what's your lay?
Well, I done considerable in the doctoring way, laying on the hands is my best hold for cancer and paralysis and such. I can tell a pretty good fortune if I have someone along to dig up the facts. And preaching's my line, and working the camp meetings. Yeah, I reckon we could make a pretty good team of that.
All right, then.
Come on, get up there, nigger. Rouse us up something to eat.
Yes, sir.
I don't like it, Huck. These two ain't no good. No way.
Well, we saddled with him for a time. And if I never learned nothing from my pap, I learned that the way to get along with his kind of people is to just leave them be and let them have their own way.
Alas.
What are you, alas, Robert?
To think I should have lived to be leading such a life and to be degraded down into such company.
Ain't the company good enough for you?
Good as I deserve. Let the cold world do its worst. One thing I know, there's a grave somewhere for me. One day I shall lay down in it and forget it all, and my poor broken heart will be at rest.
Oh, drat your broken heart. What are you heaving your heart at us for? We ain't done nothing.
No, I'm not blaming you, gentlemen. I brought myself down. Yes, I did it myself. It's right. I should suffer. Absolutely right. I don't make no move.
Brought down from where? Where was you brought down from?
Oh, you would not believe. The world never believes. Let it pass, no matter. The secret of my birth.
Secret of your birth?
Gentlemen, look, I will reveal it to you, for I feel I may have confidence in you. By rights, I am a duke.
A duke? You can't mean it.
Oh, but I do. My great-grandfather, eldest son of the Duke of Bridgewater, fled to this country to breathe the pure air of freedom. Before he could return to England and reclaim his rightful name in society, his brother stole the title and the deeds of Bridgewater. Here I am, the rightful Duke of Bridgewater, forlorn, torn from my high estate, hunted of men, despised by the cold world, ragged, worn, broken-hearted, and degraded down to the companionship of felons on a raft.
Now, don't carry on so, sir. We're all right sorry that you didn't get what you wanted.
Ah, boy, your comfort is welcome, but
what damnation?
Well, it would do a great deal to repair the world's cruel treatment of one so innocent if you could see your way to acknowledging me.
Acknowledge you?
Yes, addressing me by title, by Your Highness, or Your Lordship, or even Bridgewater.
Is that all? Well, that's easy enough. Your Lordship?
And of course I should be served first at meals and sleep beneath a shelter. And you must all stand until I say otherwise.
Now, look here, Bilgewater. I'm nation sorry for you, but you ain't the only one who's had trouble like that.
No?
No, sir. You ain't the only one that's been sneaked down wrongfully out in a high place.
Alas.
You ain't the only one that's got a secret of birth.
What do you mean?
Bilgewater, can I trust you?
To the bitter death. The secret of your being. Speak.
I am the late Dauphin.
You're what?
Yes, my friend. It's too true. Right now, your eyes are gazing at the long-disappeared Dauphin. Louis the 17th, son of Louis the 16th, and Mary Antoinette.
Ain't you a bit old to be playing this part?
Yeah. It was the trouble brung me to it. It was the trouble that brung me these white hairs and this premature balditude. Yes, gentlemen, you see me now in canvas pants and misery. The wandering, exiles, trodden upon, suffering, rightful King of France.
Did you hear that, Jim? This here's a king.
Can you imagine that?
So I expect I'm the one who's gonna be waited on first. Eh, Bilgewater? And now I'm gonna move the royal presence into the wigwam for the night.
What's going on here?
We're tying up for the day, Your Highness.
And hiding the raft with willow branches, Your Upness.
And I didn't know, but you and the king might want to go on about your business.
We ain't going nowheres. Untie that raft. You gotta put a few more miles twixt us and that town back there.
But, Lordship, we never run daytimes.
Why is that, boy? Who are you hiding from?
This buck here ain't a runaway by no chance, is he?
No, sir. Would a runaway nigger run south?
I reckon not.
So why are you hiding?
Well, sirs, it's like this. My folks was living up in Pike County, in Missouri, where I was born. They all died off, except for me and Pa, and my little brother Ike. Pa allowed he'd break up one day and go and visit my Uncle Ben, who has a little one-horse place, 44 miles below Orleans. Pa had some debts to square up, and by the time he were finished, there weren't nothing left. But $16 and our nigger Jim. Well, that weren't enough to take us 1,400 mile, deck passage nor no other way. Well, when the river rose, Pa had a streak of luck one day. He catched himself this piece of raft. So we all reckoned we'd go down and visit my uncle. Pa's luck didn't hold out long, though. One night, a steamboat run over the forward corner of the raft. We all went overboard, dove clear under the wheel. Jim and me come up all right, but Pap, he was drunk. And Ike was only 4 years old, so they never come up no more. Well, for the next day or so, we had considerable trouble. People was coming out in skiffs, trying to take Jim away from me, saying they believed he must be a runner. So now, we don't run daytimes no more. Nights, nobody bothers us.
You mean you ain't got papers on him?
No, sir. But he's mine, all right.
Well, there ain't no one gonna bother you none while we're aboard. Come on, let's get underway.
You know, Bilgewater, we gotta lay out a campaign.
I'm far ahead of you, Louis XVII.
What's the aim?
Have you ever trod the boards, royalty?
The boards?
The stage, the temple of art.
Oh.
Well, you shall, before you're 3 days older, fallen grandeur.
Well, count me in. Up to the hub, anything that pays.
The first good town we come to, we'll hire a hall and we'll do the sword fight in Richard III and the balcony scene in Romeo and Juliet.
Well, the sword fighting I know about, but what's this, Romeo?
Romeo, a love-struck youngster. I will take that part, and you, Highest Highness, will personify the lovely damsel Juliet, his paramour.
Oh, won't this peeled head and gray whiskers look uncommon odd on a young gal?
Don't you worry. These country jakes won't even know about that. Besides, you'll be in costume. You know. There. See? Juliet is out on the balcony, taking in the moonlight before settling in for the night. And then she starts a pining for her heart's love, Romeo. First, I'll start in like this. But soft! What light through yonder window breaks? East and Juliet. It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Arise! Fair sun, and kill the envious moon. Come on, that's your cue. Oh, start him, please, just like I told you.
Romeus! Romeus! Where art you, Romeus?
Oh, she speaks. Speak again, bright angel, or close up the wall with our English
I ain't never seen such prancing and play acting around.
Me either. It's a caution for sure.
Hopeville ain't but a few miles from here. I reckon it's true one horse for that Shakespearean revival, but we could hike on over in the morning, see what we can see.
Well, I'm for it. Getting mighty small on that there raft. Well, where in damnation?
Hey, you, wake up. Where's everybody gone to?
Don't shake this old body so, massa. I'll tell you right now. Everybody that's not too young or too sick or too old is off to the woods at the camp meeting.
Whereabouts?
2 miles west, big old camp meeting.
Come on, Bilgewater. We can work that crowd for a few dollars.
Now, you go on. I've got something to attend to here, and take the boy with you.
Won't y'all take me? Oh, I don't want to sit in this old town all alone.
Come on, boy.
Won't y'all take me?
It is the brazen serpent in the wilderness. Look upon it and live. Oh, come to the mourner's bench. Come black with sin. Come poor and needy, sunk in shame. Come lame and halt and blind. Come all that's soiled and worn. Come with a broken in spirit. Come with a contrite heart. Come in your rags and sins and dirt. The waters that cleanse are free. The door of heaven is open. Oh, enter in and be at rest.
God have mercy on my soul. God bless the good people of Pokeville. Yes, do bless the kind people of Pokeville.
Come, man. Come to the mourner's bench. Tell them of God's grace and goodness.
Oh, preacher, I ain't worthy. God have mercy on my soul. I ain't nothing but a low, down at the heels, evil and awful, conniving and corrupting pirate. I've been a pirate for 30 years, marauding the English Ocean. And my crew was considerable thinned out last spring in a fight with the British Navy off the coast of China. And I'm back here now, back here home, picking up some men to add to my crew. When, thanks be to goodness, last night I was robbed. Yes, robbed. And put off that steamboat without penny a purse. And it was the most blessedest thing that ever happened to me, because that's how I happen to be here now, among the good, kind people at the camp meeting in Pokeville. And I'm a changed man. I'm a changed man. Happy for the first time in my life. And I hear the good Lord Jesus pointing out the way and the path for me to follow. And I'm going to start right in, poor as I am, and with your blessing, I'm going right back to the Indian Ocean, and I'm going to spend the rest of my life turning them pirates on to the true paths of glory. For who better than one of their own is fit to baptize them wild men? And when I save one of my fellow brethren, the pirates, I'm going to say all the credit is due to them dear, kind, wonderful people at the camp meeting in Pokeville. And to that dear man, that dear preacher there, the truest friend a pirate ever had.
Let's take up a collection. Pass the hat. I'll pass the hat.
No, I'll pass the hat.
Oh, another lost soul has been saved, and the Lamb has returned to the fold. He will share in the grace of our Savior's embrace as his glorious story is told. So welcome him into your heart and gather him up to your breast. Another lost soul has been saved, and the Lamb has returned to the fold. He will share in the days of our Savior's embrace as his glorious story is told. Welcome him into your heart and gather him unto your breast.
Hello, mister. Hey, you the printer?
Yes, sir. Oh, yeah. What can I do for you?
I need a horse bail.
Yes, of course.
Here's what it's to say. You're new here, ain't you?
That'll be $4.
$4? I was going to pay as usual with some cordwood and onions.
No, $4 cash in advance.
Taking all around, that puts it over any day I ever put in missionarying.
Not a bad little town. Not bad at all.
Oh, your pirates is best for working camp meetings. Better by a long sight than heathens.
Ah, bought you something, boy. Come here. Now, I figure nobody will bother about your Negro as long as we're aboard with you. But it's true, we ain't got papers. So, if any Negro traders or lawmen want to bother about Jim here, why then we just show them this here handbill.
But Jim ain't no runaway.
No, I know. But ain't nobody going to question our rights to having him without papers if we say we're returning him south to a plantation. We can tie him hand and foot with a rope, lay him in the wigwam, show the handbill and say we captured him upriver. See?
Oh, that's mighty clever, Bilgewater.
Thank you, royalty.
Well, ain't you gonna thank the good Duke, boy?
Thank you, Majesty.
I love to travel far and near throughout my native land. I love to sell as I go along and take the cash in hand. I love to cure all in distress that happen in my way. And you better believe I feel quite fine when folks rush up and say, I'll take another bottle of Wizard Oil, I'll take another bottle or two. I'll take another bottle of Wizard Oil, I'll take another bottle or two.
Think you'll run into any more kings on this trip?
I reckon not.
Yeah, well, that's all right with me then. Don't it surprise you, Huck, how kings carry on so?
No, it don't.
Well, I tell you, these kings of ours is regular rapscallions. That's what they is. They regular rapscallions.
It's all in the breed of kings, Jim. All kings is mainly rapscallions, far as I can make out.
That's so?
You read about him once, you'll see. You should have seen old Henry VIII when he was in bloom. He was a blossom. Makes this one look like a Sunday school superintendent. He used to marry a new wife every day, then chop off her head the next morning. And he'd do it just as indifferent as if he was ordering up eggs. He'd say, fetch up Nell Gwen. Nell Gwen would come up. Next morning, chop off her head. And they'd chop it off. Fetch up Jane Shore, he says. Jane Shore would come up. Next morning, chop off her head. They'd chop it off. Ring up Fair Rosamund, he says. Fair Rosamund answers the door. Next morning, chop off her head. They chopped it off. And he made every one of them tell him a tale every night, till he had hogged 1,001 tales that way. And then he put them all down in a book. Called it the Doomsday Book, which was a good name and stated the case. You don't know kings, Jim, like I do. This old Rip of Orin is one of the cleanest I've struck in history. Take 'em all around, they're a mighty ornery lot. It's the way they're raised.
I want some more coffee.
We's out of coffee, your good graciousness.
Shall we, O royal self?
We shall. Come on there, boy. Come on, get up there.
Come on, sit down.
I ain't feeling entirely well, your lordship. I thought I'd stay here and lie in today.
Yeah, lie in my eyelashes. You mean to slip off with the raft?
I don't need to be tied up. I can hide myself up real good.
Look, I'm doing this to protect you. It ain't gonna be that bad. There. Now, if anyone finds you here, you just moans and groans like you're real sick, and they won't bother none with you. Boy. love as schoolboys from their books, but love from love towards school with heavy looks.
Those thick-headed, backwoods Philistines!
Ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor now of performing at no extra cost and solely as a gesture of gratitude for your patronage tonight, the single most sublime bit of lyric writing in all our voluminous literature. The most profoundly serious insight into the human comedy. Hamlet's soliloquy. To be or not to be. That is the bare bodkin that makes calamity of so long life. For who would fardels bear till Burnham would to come to dance inane, but that the fear of something after death murders the innocent sleep and makes us rather sling the arrows of outrageous fortune than fly to others that we know not of. Wake, Duncan, with thy knocking. Oh, I would thou couldst, for who would bear the whips and scorns of time? The oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, the law's delay, and the quietus, shh, which his pangs might take in the dead waste and middle of the night when churchyards yawn in customary suits of solemn black. And thus, the native hue of resolution, like the poor cat in the adage, is sickled o'er with care. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. But soft you, the fair Ophelia, ope not thy ponderous and marble jaws, but get thee to a nunnery. Go!
Might could be we best pass on all this sublime theater stuff, Bilgewater.
These Arkansas lunkheads ain't up to Shakespeare.
I'm fair done in with all this dancing, prancing around.
I know what they want. Low comedy. Worse than low comedy. And they're gonna get it.
I don't know how much more of this king I can bear.
Things sure is different with them on the raft. Wish I'd never set eyes on them. Anyways, kings is kings, and you gotta make allowances.
This one do smell so like the nation.
Well, they all do, Jim. We can't help the way a king smells. History don't tell, no way.
But now the Duke, he's a tolerable likely man in some ways.
Yes, well, a duke's different. And not very different. When this one here's drunk, ain't no nearsighted man could tell him from a king.
Well, anyways, I don't have no hankering for no more of them. I've had all I can stand. I suppose it's still that snake skin working its magic against us. But I sure am tired, Huck. I sure am tired.
Ladies and children not admitted.
If that line don't fetch him in, I don't know Arkansas.
carefully, boy. When the laughter stops and the audience starts out clapping and shouting for more, you make sure that back door is wide open. Do you understand?
Yes, my Luke.
Yeah, good. Get over there and get ready.
Remove all women from the hall. No children are allowed at all. For men's eyes only is this show. The reason why you soon will know. We bring you tonight for your utter delight. A marvelous spectacle called by name the Royal Nonsuch, or the Burning Shame. It is too delicate a sight to be seen but at night. No modesty has this creature. I'm sure it will meet your approval through and through when you see the antics it can do.
and the flowers.
Ain't no time to lose, Jim. Now's the time to get loose of them kings.
Trying to slip out on us, are you pup? Tired of our company,
No, Your Majesty!
Stay where you are, nigger.
I warn Your Majesty, please don't!
Well, what's the idea then? Come on, quick, or I'll shake the living daylights out of you.
There was a man back there, and he had a gun. And he said if I weren't to take off at a run, he was going to put a bit of lead through my ear. So naturally, I didn't dispute him.
Let go of that boy, idiot.
This little traitor was just going to leave us there.
Like he was going to run away on me. Come on, boy, shove off. Be quick about it. Come on, hop through there.
I wasn't running out. I thought you was right behind me.
I know what you thought, you treacherous no-account.
You and your foolish sublime theater and all that prancing around. You dang near got us both strung up.
Perhaps the time has come to dissolve our partnership, old man.
Yeah, well, that suits me just fine.
Yeah, good then, good.
More coffee, boy.
Yes, Your Grace.
I'll leave off with that Duke business. You ain't no more a Duke than I am a cypress tree.
And You ain't no more the Dauphin than I'm the Big Dipper.
Yeah? But at least I had enough nobility not to run out on a partner and leave him in the lurch with the rotten apples.
I'll take it, Jim.
No, no. That's all right, son. I don't want no sleep anyways. So, them rapscallions weren't kings after all, huh?
I reckon not.
You know, I was just sitting here thinking, Huck. Things hardly is what they seem to be. Likely enough to just break your heart sometimes.
Not worth breaking your heart over these hogwashes.
You know, this is the first time I've ever been away from home. Well, the first time out, I was terribly, terribly lonesome. Then with you and Raph and freedom in sight, I don't feel so bad no more. I almost forgot my children. Then we get royalty on board and I start thinking about them again. Poor little Elizabeth and Johnny. Expect I ain't gonna never see them no more.
You will, just soon as you get free.
Well, what makes me feel so bad this time is I used to treat little Elizabeth so ornery. She was about 4 years old. She had the scarlet fever. Oh, it done something powerful, powerful terrible. Then she come out of it. She got well again. One day she was just standing around and I told her, I said, girl, shut the door. She didn't move, just stood there, smiling at me. So I got mad. I said a little louder, shut the door. She didn't move, still standing there, smiling. Oh, I got boiling mad, and I looked at her and I say, I'll make you mind me. And I fetched her a slap upside the head and sent her sprawling across the floor. I went into the room and I stayed about 10 minutes. Come back out. That door was still open yet. Child standing in it, tears streaming down her face. Well, I got mad and I started for her. When all of a sudden a gust of wind come up and slammed the door. Kablam! In my land, boy, that child didn't move. Huck, my breath almost come out of my body. She didn't move. So I walked up behind her, real slow, and I poked my face right next to her ear. And all of a sudden I yelled, kapow! That child didn't budge. Oh, God, I just broke down and started crying. I throwed my arms around her and I said, child, you poor child. Lord have mercy on Jim, because forgive me. Because I ain't never gonna forgive myself. She's just plain old deep and dumb, Huck. Old deep and dumb. And there all that time I've been treating that child so.
All right. That ain't a bad idea. We should set to figuring out the particulars.
Yeah, I thought that might appeal to you. Hey, boy, fetch us that jug.
Sirs, it don't matter that you ain't kings and such. And, well, what I wants to say is, well, I was kind of glad you made it up. Because what you want on a raft is for everyone to be satisfied. Elseways, it ain't like a raft at all, but like anywhere else, ain't it? Ain't it?
They sure been at it a long time in there. Planning worse deviltry than I ever laid.
Might be they're planning to rob a store or a bank or go into the counterfeit money business.
Well, I tell you, Huck, I don't want nothing to do with such actions.
Me neither.
We're going to land below that town.
Yes, sir.
We're going to put on another show tomorrow.
The burning shame again?
Oh, no. Something a little different. And you're going to be the main attraction.
Me?
Come one, come all. Come witness the scientific magic of Dr. Armand de Montauban of Paris. Phrenologist and mesmerist extraordinaire. For the insignificant price of 10 cents, I can make you insensible to all pain for a period of 2 months. Come one, come all. Come witness the scientific magic of Dr. Armand de Montauban, reader of heads and hearts. For the paltry sum of 25 cents, I will read the bumps on your head. Oh, go on, you feel your head. Feel the bumps, yeah? Well, these bumps are different on each person. I hold the key to understanding the secret of bumps and will chart your heads for, as I said, the paltry sum of 25 cents. All right. I will prove my case. May I please have a volunteer from the audience? Come. Anyone will do.
I volunteer, sir.
Good boy. Just step up here. Ah, that is it. There's nothing to worry about. I will now render this young boy insensible to any pain through the magic of mesmerism. Totally oblivious now, as if in a deep sleep. When I snap my fingers, you will be insensible to all and any pain whatsoever. You will feel the prick of pin, but it will hurt no more than the pressure of a fly. My fingers, you will awaken. You will remember nothing of the trance. But remember, boy, you will still be insensible to pain.
I thought you was gonna mesmerize me.
Oh, I tried, boy, but, well, you just were not the proper subject.
Oh, don't. What's that I feel on my arm? Sure are a powerful lot of flies around here.
Thank you, boy. Thank you, boy. Now, who will be the first to have the head red or the pain alleviated?
Me and my partner found this darky hiding out in some cottonwoods about 20 miles north of here. We ain't got the time to travel south to Orleans, so we're looking to sell out our share of the whole reward for a portion of it. Ready cash right now.
Where is this nigger?
Bound and tied and ready to carry. Not too far from here.
We're all right now. Jim? Jim? Jim! 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 Jim!
There he is. Take him where you will. I'm heading for the west, I am.
You know, we ought to be thinking about sliding out, Royalty. Because them folks will find out soon enough they can still feel pinpricks well enough.
How about walking it a ways? I'm getting bone tired looking at that water.
Feats is good enough for me.
Thought I know you fellas.
Yeah, it's quite possible, young man. We travel quite a lot. It's part of our stock and trade.
Oh, I know.
Hey yourself. You seen a runaway nigger? Got a blue shirt on?
Sure have. Seen old man Phelps and his brother carrying off this big old buck. He was a runaway. Run off somewhere down south of New Orleans. What you want with a runaway nigger? He a friend of yours?
I should say not. I run into him in the woods about an hour ago, and he said if I hollered, he'd cut my livers out. Told me to lay down and stay there, and I done it. Been there ever since. I feared to come out.
Ain't nothing to fear no more. Like I said, they got him.
It's a good job, too.
Sure is. There's a $200 reward. Like picking up money out in the road.
I could have had it, if and only I'd been big enough. I saw him first, didn't I?
You got a chaw to spare?
No, I don't. Where'd they take him? Jail, I suppose.
No, they took him to the Phelps place, about 2 miles below here. They gonna keep him till the owner calls for him or sends a reward. You sure you ain't got a chaw tobacco?
No, I don't. But I got a pipe.
That'll do. It's a wonder how I made it this far.
Someone most likely helped him.
Wouldn't want to be the skin on his back if he's ever caught.
Reckon he's feeling pretty low down and wicked by now. Stealing someone else's property.
Gotta be. You go to hell for that.
Reckon if it was me and someone found out, I'd be ready to get down and lick his boots for shame.
This tobacco tastes like old socks. Ain't you got nothing better?
But he sure must be feeling wicked inside.
Don't think I've got any insides left. Well, I'm gonna find me a chaw.
Lord, I knowed I shouldn't have done what I done. And I knowed I should sit down right now and write a letter to Miss Watson and tell her where her nigger is. But I was brung up wicked, so I ain't much to blame. Except, of course, there was that Sunday school I could have gone to. And they'd have learned me that people that acts as I've been acting about that nigger goes to everlasting fire. So what I wants to say is, I'll try to... I won't.
I'm sorry if and Well, I found out one thing. You can't pray a lie. Miss Watson, your runaway nigger Jim is down here, 2 miles below Pikesville. And Mr. Phelps has got him. And he'll give him up for the reward if you send. Huck Finn. Somehow I just can't seem to strike any hard places against him. All right. I'll go to hell. Ain't no harm in a hound, no how, is there?
No, not much. What do you want, boy?
This is the Phelps place, ain't it?
Sure.
Oh, Dad! There you are at last!
Yes'm, it's me, all right.
Oh, where have you been? Oh, you don't look at all as much like your mother's. I thought you were going to, but I don't care about that. Thing. Safe. I'm just so happy. Safe. Now, you come right in here and sit down where I can get a good look at you. Now, Hannah, hurry up and get up some warm tea. You know, laws of me, we've been expecting you for a couple of days or more. What kept you? You both go ground?
Yes'm, she grounded.
Oh, don't say yes'm, say Aunt Sally. Now, where did you go aground?
Well, it weren't really the grounding that kept us back. Not really. It was a cylinder head would blow.
Oh, good gracious, anybody hurt?
No, killed a nigger.
Well, that's lucky. You know, sometimes people get hurt. 2 years ago, last Christmas, your Uncle Silas was coming up from New Orleans on the old Alley Brook, and she blowed a cylinder head and crippled a man. I think he died afterwards when he was a Baptist. Yes, I remember now. He did die. Mortification set in. He turned blue all over, and he died, hoping for a glorious resurrection. Well, you know, your uncle has been to town every day to fetch you, and he's gone again now, not more than an hour ago, but he'll be back any minute now. You must have passed him on the road, didn't you?
No, I didn't see nobody.
Well, that's curious. Where's your baggage?
I left it to town.
Oh, child, it's gonna get stole.
Not where I hid it. I reckon it won't.
Well, here we are running on like this, and you haven't told me one word about Sis nor any of them. Now, I'm gonna rest my words for a while, and you just get yours started up, and you just tell me everything. Tell me about all of them. Tell me how they are, what they're doing, and what they told you to tell me. You just tell me everything that comes into your head. Why, Tom, what's come over you? Come on now. Teresa.
Has it come?
No, he ain't.
Oh, he must have come. You just missed him on the road.
No, I didn't miss him. He ain't come. I'm getting mighty uneasy. Something happened to the boat, sure.
Guess what I got here?
It ain't no time for games.
Oh, guess.
No!
It is Tom Sawyer.
You little rapscallion.
You were just about to tell us all the news about Sister and Sid and Mary.
Well, let the boy get his breath, Sally. There's a dinner table for talking.
Yes'm, Aunt Sally, and I really ought to go and fetch my things.
Well, I'll go with you, Tom.
That ain't necessary, sir. I can drive the horse myself. I don't want you taking on no more trouble today on account of me.
All right, Tom. I got some business out back to tend to. You hurry back.
Get up. Come on. Come on. Get up.
Tom, don't hurt me, Huck. I'm nation sorry you were murdered, but I wish, I do, you get back in your grave and don't haunt me no more.
I ain't a ghost, Tom, and I ain't been dead at all.
Weren't you murdered in your Pat's cabin?
No, Tom. I only done that to get shut on my pap. Look, if you don't believe me, come on, feel of me. Come on.
Well, I'll be. What on earth are you doing here?
It's a long story, and I ain't got time to start it now, so just let it be. Tom, your Aunt Sally, she thinks I'm you.
Well, I reckon I'm as bewildered as can be. But how'd you come to be at Aunt Sally's?
Climb up here. We'll head back to the farm, and I'll try and tell you on the way. Then we can work out a plan. Get up. I see them. Human beings sure can be cruel, can't they? If I had a yeller dog that didn't know no more than a person's conscience does, I'd poison him. I tell you, Tom, a person's conscience takes up more room than the rest of his insides. And yet it ain't no good, no way.
What nonsense you talking, Huck?
I know them two rascals. And somehow I feel it's part my fault that they're being treated so. Get up.
Whoa. You know what to say. We wanted to surprise them.
There's something, Tom, you ought to know. Your Uncle Silas, he's got Jim under lock and key.
Jim? Miss Watson's Jim?
The very one. And, I'm gonna steal him out of slavery.
But
I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna say it's dirty and low down and ornery. Well, so it is. And I reckon I am Pap's son after all. 'Cause low down or no, I'm stealing Jim. Now, say you'll keep mum and not say anything.
What's this?
Oh, it's my brother Sid, Aunt Sally. We wanted to surprise you and Uncle Silas.
Well, I reckon you did.
Yeah.
Bless us, O Lord, and these thy gifts which we are about to receive through thy bounty. In Christ our Lord. Amen.
Well, dear me, we weren't looking for you, Sid, but only Tom. My sister didn't say nothing about anybody coming but him.
Oh, that's because it weren't intended for anybody but Tom to come. But I begged and begged, and at the last moment, Aunt Polly, she said I could come too.
Well, and Mary. How's Mary, Tom?
Oh, fine. Fine as ever. She's still winning those Bible reciting ribbons and being a goody two-shoes.
I've thought about it, Huck, and I've decided
I'm gonna help you steal Jim out of slavery.
What? I don't believe it. Tom Sawyer, a nigger stealer. You're joking, ain't you?
No joking.
Well, this is too many for me, Tom. You're a respectable boy. Brung up good, with character to lose and all. Not like me. I was brung up to no good. So I reckon thievery's all right for me. But for you?
It'll be a fine adventure. Like the Man in the Iron Mask and the Count of Monte Cristo. I figure we can find out where they're keeping him in the morning and then cook up the right kind of plan.
That's where they're keeping him. I want. Now all we gotta do is wait for nightfall.
You work your mind and study out a plan to steal Jim. And I'll study out one too. And we'll take the one we like best. What's your idea, Huck? My plan is this. We fetch my rat from out of the towhead. Then we steal the key out of the old man's breeches. Get Jim out of there. Then we shove off on the river by raft, hiding daytimes and running nights, the way Jim and I done before. Now, wouldn't that plan work?
Work? Oh, why, certainly it'd work. Like rats fighting.
But it's too blamed simple. There ain't nothing to it. What's the good of a plan that ain't got no more trouble in it than that? It's as mild as goose milk. Well, I should hope that we can find a plan that's more complicated than that. But if it works, ain't that the point? If I didn't have no more sense than you, Huck Finn, I'd hold still. Don't I usually know what I'm about? I've read the books, and all the books say it's got to be done a certain way. And that's the way I aim to you. So, what's your plan? We'll smuggle in some tools for Jim to work with, like a rope ladder. What's he gonna do with a rope ladder? And a white shirt for him to scratch his journal on. Jim can't write. And I've already filched this here spoon for him. What's the spoon for? To dig himself out with, of course. Ain't these picks and shovels good enough for digging out with? Who ever heard of a prisoner having picks and shovels to dig himself out of jail with? But it's foolish to dig out with a spoon. It'd take forever. It's the right way, the regular way. There ain't no other way that I've heard of, and I've read all the books that gives me any information about these things. They always dig out with spoons, and not through dirt, mind you. Generally, it's through solid rock, and it don't matter if it takes forever. Well, look at one of them prisoners at the bottom dungeon of Castle Deep. He dug himself out with a spoon, and how long do you reckon it took him? I don't know. Guess. I don't know. A month and a half. 37 years. And he come out in China. Jim don't know nobody in China. What's that got to do with it? Jim! Jim, you in there? Talk! Wake up! What are you doing? You're gonna rouse everybody. I've had enough of your bookie foolishness, Tom Sawyer. You go on with your magic lamps and you're digging to China and you're writing journals on shirts. I'm taking Jim out and I'm doing it now. But that's not the way. It's my way. Huck, I gotta tell you. Just go on back to bed.
Mars Tom.
Come on. Hello, Jim. Come on, Jim. Let's to the raft, fast.
Mars Tom, tell my wife, Kalinda, tell her that I'm still alive.
Get the dogs! Yes? Who's that? Answer me, I'll shoot!
Ah! Jim! It's just my leg. Don't stop now. Don't fool around here. Ah!
Hold still, nigger! Good Lord, I shot Sid! You all right, boy?
Yes, sir. Just a flesh wound, but bleeding nicely. Oh, Sid!
Hold that nigger!
Leave him alone. You ain't got no right. Poor darling Sid. I'm not Sid. I'm Tom Sawyer.
And, I'm only Huck Finn.
And he ain't no slave. He's free.
Time to get him back to the ship. And we'll write St. Petersburg. Pick him up.
Oh, and go get a doctor for this boy.
Well, Tom, we just heard from your Aunt Polly. It seems that what you told us about Jim was the truth. All the more surprising since you and the truth don't seem to bump into each other very often.
Sister said that Miss Watson freed Jim on her deathbed, and she sent us freedom papers along with a letter.
There. Didn't I tell you had no right to shut him up?
We did what was right and proper, Tom. As soon as we got the news, your uncle let him loose this morning.
Now, you sit still, the two of you. We've something else to tell you.
My sister was quite candid in what she had to say about you. But I believe that with the right Christian example and the proper training, you could grow up into a tolerable, decent human being. And that's why I'm going to continue to let you call me Aunt Sally. And as soon as the papers come through, Uncle Silas and I are going to adopt you. And Tom really will be your cousin. Now, don't scrunch up, dear boy.
Well, that's real kind of you, ma'am.
Now, let's get Tom into the carriage. We don't want to be late for church.
Begging your pardon, ma'am, but I appears to have forgotten the Bible you gave me. I'll just scooch back and get it.
And don't forget your hat.
Jim, they're out to civilize me again, and I can't stand it. I've been there before. Come on.
I can't go with you.
Of course you can, like we always done. Only now we can run days.
No, wait, Huck, now listen. Remember when I told you back on Jackson Island, how I had a hairy breast and what that was a sign of and how I was gonna be rich one day? Well, I is. I owns myself now. So I'm going back to St. Petersburg with Ma's Tom. And I'm gonna work like a dog and I'm gonna buy my family out to freedom with me.
I'm real happy for you, Jim.
Well, Huck, you can go with me.
I know. But I figure I'll head on down to Jones's Landing. Then maybe light out towards Indian territory.
Well, you know it. Don't seem right, us going off in different directions.
There's a lot I ain't seen yet, Jim. Come on. You can help me push the raft out in the river. Yeah, Jim?
Thank you.
Oh. I figure if you're, headed back up north, you, just have this to take with you.
This what says I'm free?
Yes, Jim. Free as any creature on earth.